Hi class, Mr. Bates here, Monday morning. Got my thinking cap on, here to talk about Chapter 7, Gas Exchange and Transport. It's a relatively simple chapter. It's basically all the information we learned with the clothespin squeezy lab about how the transport system or circulatory system moves things around your body, while the respiratory system is responsible for bringing things in and out of the body. In the chapter, I'll have all the answers below. In this chapter, they really didn't go over much we haven't talked about how arteries are going away from the heart, veins are coming back to the heart, capillaries are the really little tiny guys in between where all that gas exchange occurs. It talks a little about these things called alveoli, which are those sacs in your lungs that bring oxygen and carbon dioxide out when you breathe in and out. These things pulse, they squeeze and unsqueeze when you breathe in and out, and you have the blood vessels collecting these oxygen, carbon dioxide in those little tiny capillaries near the alveoli. Actually, what the issue with this is this, like, the barrier between these two things is super thin, and that enables oxygen, carbon dioxide to get into the blood. The problem with that, with having such a thin layer of cells, is if they get ruptured or destroyed, you're really in trouble. What's happening right now with all the respiratory illness and the whole coronavirus thing is that it's destroying and attacks these cells, which with such a thin layer of cells, if they destroy and attack, there's not a thick layer of cells like in your skin has layers and layers of cells, like 40, 50 layers of cells. If you if you do this, you shake, don't touch your face, by the way, you just ripped off a layer of skin, but you got 49 more. So that's why it's so dangerous with the coronavirus thing. That once it's in your bloodstream, your blood then goes to other parts of your body to deliver the oxygen, CO2 with just diffusion. Obviously, these cells receiving those things first, but then as they continually diffuse to these cells and these cells, and you have these capillaries all over your body. If you cut yourself a little bit, it's typically what you cut was a bunch of capillaries. They're small, you lose a little bit of blood. If you cut a vein, again, there's not much pressure in it, so you're going to bleed a little bit more than a capillary. If you cut an artery that's coming away from your heart, like immediately away from your heart, it's got a lot of pressure in it, you're going to bleed quite a bit. So that's kind of the concept of the chapter, and in class we have that big glass blow up with the balloon thing to demonstrate breathing and its role in respiration, circulation, and that was the first question. You were supposed to do 21 to 32. The big ones in this were question 23 was trace the pathway. That's kind of what I wanted you, that's the air going in and out of your lungs. I had you do it through the circulatory system, stopping at the point where the stuff is going in and out. Question 26, transport involves absorption and circulation. That's a big one too, knowing how the things go in and out. Absorption, that's diffusion, and circulation, that's the heart pumping blood around your body like a pump. And 28 is a big anatomy and phys question. If you're interested in nursing and stuff like that, you should look closer at that one. 30 is a scientific method question. It's number 1. And it's just, you want those two groups of people to be as close as possible to each other. Finally, 31 is the heart dissection that we did. There's 4 chambers in the mammalian heart. Other than that, the answers are below. Check them out. Tonight you're doing March 23rd, Chapter 8. And I'll be back on tomorrow. Today I'm going to do a Zoom at noon, which is coming up here pretty quick. If you want to just chat about last week's stuff, want to chat about what's going on at home, chat about some science of what's going on in the world, any of that stuff, I'll be on at noon, and you can join. The link will be in Google Classroom. See you guys.